An illustrious career spanning decades, 8 decades, 12,000 songs, and a timeless legacy. Asha Bhosle, one of India's most prolific and versatile singers, is no more. She breathed her last in Mumbai on April 12. She was hospitalized due to extreme exhaustion after suffering a chest infection. Truly, this is the end of a golden era in Indian music. Hello and welcome to another edition of Inside South Asia. I'm Kripa. Let's begin. On the 10th of April, a joyous picnic spot in western Afghanistan descended into chaos as gunmen opened fire on civilians. At least 11 people were killed. 8 others were wounded in the brazen daylight attack at a well-known picnic spot in the Herat province. The hail of gunfire turned a peaceful setting into a scene of panic and devastation. According to authorities, the deadly attack was carried out by unidentified armed men riding motorcycles, and so far no group has claimed responsibility for the attack. But the tragedy has shattered the illusion of safety in a region that has otherwise seen relative calm compared with other parts of Afghanistan. Our next report tells you more.
A serene picnic spot under the shade of trees next to a famous Shia shrine where people usually gather to have a good time was unfortunately turned into a scene of unimaginable horror on Friday. Unidentified gunmen on motorcycles opened fire on picnicking families in the Angel district of the Herat province. The heinous attack, which targeted a popular picnic spot adjacent to a famous Shia shrine, killed at least 11 people and wounded at least 8 others, 3 of whom are believed to be in a critical condition. Bullet marks visible on a wall of the Sayyid Muhammad Agha Shia shrine and bloodstains on an abandoned blanket narrated a tale of mayhem that was unleashed.
We lost 4 martyrs. They were my brother-in-law, his brother, his wife, and one of his sons. They said we will go to the shrine as well as the children get some fresh air. It was around 1:30 p.m. or 1:45 p.m. that they called us and said, "Help us." We all have been shot. As fast as possible we arrived there. Till we arrived, Taliban prevented us from going further and told us not to go. There is fighting going on, you might also get killed.
The next day, hundreds of mourners gathered in Herat for a prayer ceremony. Their voices were heavy with sorrow, and the mood was somber as they laid their loved ones to rest. Considering the victims were ordinary civilians having a good time at a picnic spot, the assault is especially distressing for local residents. The sad, bewildered faces of mourners were streaked by quiet tears, and there was a perceptible anger at a disturbing pattern of violence that stretches beyond this attack. Over the years, Kabul alone has witnessed several bomb and gun attacks targeting security personnel, government buildings, and civilian areas. In a country still reeling from the effects of a long war, attacks on non-combatants is especially alarming. It suggests that armed violence can still erupt suddenly and without warning, even in places that feel relatively safe. Since returning to power in August 2021, the Taliban government has stressed that it has brought greater stability than the years of conflict. Officials have pointed to reduced large-scale clashes and a relatively safer security landscape. But assaults like the one witnessed on Friday exposes the cracks in that promise. They reveal how quickly armed groups, whether unidentified gunmen or organized militants, can still strike civilians in broad daylight. For many Afghans, the knowledge that violence lurks around the corner and can return any moment is woven into the fabric of their daily life. but so too is a defiant, stubborn will to continue living and being there for each other.
We ask the brothers in the emirate to hand over those responsible for the incident to justice, and they should be executed in front of all the people of Afghanistan and not to be let go of without any punishment.
In the prayers and tears of mourners, there is both deep sorrow for the lives lost and a refusal to let such attacks strip the country of its humanity and a will to live without fear.
Rice, the staple food and the most important crop in Bangladesh. Such is the significance of the crop that it wouldn't be off the mark to say that the food security of the South Asian nation is closely linked to rice security. But this very sense of security is under threat due to the fuel crisis triggered by the Iran war. Our next report gets you the details.
Since its independence in 1971, paddy rice production in Bangladesh has nearly quadrupled. From 15 million tons to an estimated 55 million tons in 2024, making it the third largest rice producer in the world. Despite the impressive achievement, there are certain challenges facing the crucial sector. The global fuel crisis triggered by the Iran war hasn't helped. It has disrupted irrigation during a critical phase of paddy cultivation and has taken a heavy toll on tens of thousands of Bangladeshi farmers. Late March is considered a key agricultural season, marking the start of the paddy sowing across Bangladesh. And for the paddy crop to grow and ripen, heavy and regular irrigation by diesel-powered tube wells is an absolute must. However, this season, fuel shortages and long queues to obtain diesel for irrigation pumps are delaying watering schedule. In the sun-baked fields of Manikganj, a district west of capital Dhaka, farmers like Mohammad Yusuf have not been able to irrigate their land on time, resulting in stunted and yellowing seedlings.
What will we eat if we are unable to cultivate rice? The farmer's currency is this paddy. Paddy runs the wheel of our family. The fuel crisis is putting us in trouble, in deep trouble.
For the country's 175 million people, rice plays a crucial role in their diet, livelihood, as well as economy. And for the Boro rice crop, planted in the dry winter season and irrigated through March and April, the timing is key. There is a very small window for sowing, which experts warn could be disrupted, resulting in reduction in yields by 20 to 30%.
We stood in the queue at the pump during the daytime. We came to the field during the dark of the night to irrigate, plow, fertilize, and finally sow the seeds. Nobody could work in the field during the daytime in the past weeks. Everyone was queuing up at the pumps. 4 hours. Days often passed, many returned empty-handed.
For farmers, a failed Boro harvest means not just lower yields, but also mounting debts from seeds and labor they have already invested in. Agricultural experts point out that tube well irrigation is non-negotiable for Boro's success in the dry season. Without proper irrigation, the soil moisture levels drop significantly, rendering the fields barren, further compounding vulnerabilities in a country where agriculture employs nearly half of the workforce. According to local pump operators, they are receiving insufficient fuel allocations from departments, making it difficult to distribute supply fairly.
The farmers truly require a lot of fuel in this season for their paddy irrigation, but the government has made a guideline. We are maintaining that, but we know that it is not enough for the farmers.
Bangladesh relies on imports for nearly 80% of its refined fuel needs, with a significant portion sourced from West Asia. The United States and Israel's war against Iran has resulted in the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, which has disrupted global energy supplies. The impact of the Iran war is not limited to rural farms. In urban centers, including the capital of Dhaka, long queues at petrol pumps is the new normal. households, already burdened by rising inflation and cost of living crisis, the strain due to the burgeoning fuel prices has only amplified the crisis from farm to fork. In a bid to cushion the blow, the Bangladesh government has moved swiftly to secure alternative supplies. Efforts are underway to diversify fuel sources with a growing reliance on regional partners, particularly India. So far, around 25,000 tons of diesel have been imported in 4 phases via the Bangladesh-India Friendship Pipeline. However, on the ground, the situation remains uneven. Farmers continue to navigate supply uncertainties while traders report tightening margins. With key stages of the crop cycle approaching, much will depend on how quickly and consistently fuel supplies can be stabilized in the coming weeks.
Now let's tell you what else is making headlines in Inside South Asia Wrap.
About 250 Rohingya and Bangladeshis, including children, went missing after their boat capsized earlier this month in the Andaman Sea, according to the United Nations Refugee and Migration Agencies. The trawler, which was bound for Malaysia, reportedly sank due to heavy winds, rough seas and overcrowding. It is unclear when the boat capsized, but on the 9th of April, a Bangladesh-flagged vessel rescued 9 people.
Before the boat capsized, I fainted when the boat was caught in a storm and hot fuel poured on my body. I started screaming in pain and then I lost consciousness. Then, when I finally came to, I found myself floating in the sea. We were floating for an entire day, then the long night came and we were still floating. The next afternoon, an oil tanker rescued us. They picked up 5 of us.
In a landmark moment for chess, Grandmaster Vaishali Ramesh Babu has won the 2026 Women's Candidates Tournament in Cyprus, earning a shot at the world title. The 24-year-old, who is the sister of R. Pragnananda, finished on top by just half a point. Vaishali ended the tournament with 8.5 points after 14 rounds, becoming the first Indian to win the Women's Candidates. She will now face China's Zhu Wenjun later this year for the world title.
Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif arrived in Jeddah on Wednesday for an official visit to Saudi Arabia. This visit comes after Pakistan said it secured $3 billion in financial support from Saudi Arabia, helping to bolster its foreign exchange reserves and offset a loan repayment the country will make to the United Arab Emirates. Earlier, Pakistan's Foreign Office announced that Sharif would undertake visits to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Turkey from April 15th to 18 as part of a broader diplomatic outreach.
It's a festive time across South Asia as communities come together to celebrate the harvest season and mark the start of a new year in many parts of the region. Rooted in tradition and culture, these celebrations reflect a shared spirit of gratitude, renewal, and togetherness. Take a look.
It's that time of the year when India's cultural fabric comes alive with the vibrant hues of tradition and devotion. From fields ready for harvest to homes filled with color and prayer, the country's cultural rhythm has come alive one more time with festivals rooted in tradition, faith, and community. In Punjab, the month of April is special because it brings Baisakhi, a festival to celebrate the harvest of Rabi crops, especially wheat. But Baisakhi is more than just a harvest festival, it's also a pivotal day for the Sikh community. It marks the founding of the Khalsa Panth, or collective body of initiated Sikhs, by the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, in 1699. This day holds a lot of spiritual meaning and is a time for Sikhs to remember their history and culture. The atmosphere is filled with excitement all over the state, with lively Punjabi traditional dance forms like Bhangra and Gidda performances. Crowded gurudwaras and kitchens filled with delicious food, Baisakhi is a time when spirituality and joy come together. In neighboring Pakistan, both Indian and Pakistani Sikh pilgrims gathered in the city of Hasan Abdal, home of the Gurudwara Panja Sahib, one of Sikhism's most holy sites, to celebrate the spring festival of Baisakhi. In the northeast part of India, in Assam, a big celebration takes place known as Bohag Bihu or Rongali Bihu, which marks the beginning of the new year from the people of the state. This special time signals the start of sowing seeds in the fields. As people come together to celebrate, the air is filled with the loud beats of dhols, energetic dances, and big feasts shared with the community, all of which symbolize new starts in life and on the land. And not to be missed is the traditional Bihu dances that play a big role in bringing people together. In West Bengal, people celebrate the start of a new year with Pohela Boishakh. Rooted in culture and identity, the day is marked with vibrant processions, traditional music, and artistic expression. Homes are decorated with beautiful alpana designs made from rice paste, and people wear classic red and white clothes to mark the occasion. For business, it's also the beginning of a new financial year. They have a special ritual called Hal Khata to mark the start of a new cycle. In Bangladesh's capital Dhaka, thousands of revelers clad in the traditional red attire ushered in the Bengali New Year with colourful processions and cultural festivities, hoping to leave behind past burdens and embracing a new future. In the Himalayan nation of Nepal, tens of thousands of people gathered in Bhaktapur on the 10th of April to mark the first day of Biska Jatra by pulling a traditional wooden chariot built in the pagoda style, thereby kicking off the Nepali New Year celebrations. Down in the Indian south, in Kerala, Vishu marks the astrological New Year. At the heart of the celebration is the Vishukani, a carefully arranged display of auspicious items like fruits, flowers, coins, symbolizing abundance and prosperity. Families begin the day by viewing this arrangement, believed to set the tone for the year ahead. Meanwhile, in Tamil Nadu, Puthandu welcomes the Tamil New Year, linked to the sun's transition into Aries. The festival reflects themes of balance, renewal, and continuity. It's a day steeped in tradition with deep ties to Tamil heritage and agrarian life. No matter where you are in the world, the heart of the celebration is the same. Family and friends getting together, wearing new clothes, sharing delicious meals, and feeling hopeful about the future.
Bhajans are devotional songs with ancient roots in Hinduism, which for centuries have been used as a spiritual bridge between the individual and the divine. Perhaps reflective of the times we live in, this age-old tradition has now been accorded a modern twist in the form of bhajan clubbing, which is fast gaining traction in India's capital. Our next story gets you the details.
In the city of New Delhi, there's a new trend that seems to have caught the imagination of the young and the restless. Bhajans, or the traditional devotional songs, reimagined through guitars and pounding drumbeat, are transforming public venues into spiritual hangouts, drawing the party revelers. As the devotees sway to rhythmic riffs, soaring into crescendos in devotional songs praising a Hindu deity, the nightlife seems electric and filled with infectious energy. The popularity of bhajan clubbing can be gauged by the fact that in the month of March alone, New Delhi hosted at least 5 major devotional concerts, drawing tens of thousands.
When we see today's youth, they seem more interested in things other than religious matters, but this is actually very good for them. It shows them the right path. The fact that it has a clubbing name attached to it has also made it a good way to connect with God.
Critics of the phenomenon, however, point to a broader revival of public expressions of Hindu deity in India. alongside the growing political and cultural influence of Hindu populist narratives. But the phenomenon, gaining strength by the day, has its fair share of admirers like fashion figure Ratandeep Lal, who compare it to flashy international concerts.
I have attended many international concerts, including Shakira's, as well as concerts in the US. But this kind of initiative in India, which uses Sanatan devotional music to teach and connect with the next generation, is very good and I appreciate it.
Among the admirers of the trend is the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who had spoken effusively about the phenomenon in his weekly radio broadcast Man Ki Baat in January. 26-year-old Nikunj Gupta, who is the founder of Sanatan Journey, India's biggest devotional music festival, is of the opinion that such events offered young people a festive atmosphere without the alcohol commonly associated with going a regular club.
It is giving them a medium to explore, a different activity to do apart from going to the regular clubs where they have to consume alcohol, go out with friends. So even for our concerts, we are looking at people joining in clusters, sharing stories and asking people that if they want to join in, just like they do for maybe any other large-scale concert.
The trend, increasingly resembling a movement, is also spreading beyond borders. In neighboring Hindu-majority Nepal, more than 3,000 people attended a Bhajan club night in February. Whether this rapidly growing trend is here to stay or merely a passing fad, only time will tell. But one thing is certain, it's an enjoyable way for the young generation to begin this spiritual journey.
On the 14th of April, Prime Minister Narendra Modi he inaugurated an expressway linking India's capital New Delhi to the northern hill city of Dehradun. The ambitious project, built at a cost of over $1.2 billion, it is expected to bring the travel time between the two cities from more than 6 hours to around 2.5. The expressway also features an approximately 12-kilometer long elevated wildlife corridor, one of the longest in Asia, designed to minimize human-wildlife conflict and ensure safe movement for animals across the region. Take a look, and I will see you next week.